Welcome to another R&DW Adventures. We're still on Belle Isle from a ferry adventure we did this morning. I'm Darryl.
And I'm Renee.
And she's got to find some caches today to fill her found grid. But we're also out here to start getting some points in the Reach the Peak competition for the month. But we did have some questions about that. So as we go along, we'll give you a little bit more information about Reach the Peak for anyone who had some questions. So our first find is just a traditional cache. Renee is signing right over there. I really wanted to give you some background on Reach the Peak and how that works, but unfortunately the website is down right now. So just a quick overview of the whole concept of Reach the Peak and the rest of the leaderboard type promotions that geocaching.com will do. It is required to log caches, sometimes even trackables, but the caches to get the points. There's no actual distance or anything. As part of the promotion, it is all about finding those caches and in some cases finding the trackables. So the points are based on your found logs. So whatever the point is for that type of cache found is the points that you earn for logging the found during the period. These little nano logs take so much effort to roll up, but a little bit of background on Belle Isle and the events that go on here. Almost every spring, there is a event. In the last couple of years, they've done it in memory of one of the cachers that used to hold the event, but passed away. And they don't replace all the caches much anymore, but they used to actually replace every cache on the island. So every year we had a fresh batch of caches to come back to. And it really is a great way to interact with a bunch of the other cachers. We've had some small events at about 20 to 30 people, and we've got bigger events that have been hundreds of people. And with Windsor being right across the border, we get a lot of them as well. But let's get this one back and continue the efforts. So, the good news, geocaching.com's web server is back up. The bad news is, somewhere over here there's a geocache. We think we found the remnants, but there's no cache. So, boo.
Yeah.
We did find two. Real quickly though, we can now talk about the leaderboard and everything because we've got that handy. So anytime you find a cache is 325 points this month for, I gotta look up the name again. But anything that has 10 or more favorite points is worth 750. If you find a multi-cache, that's worth 450. An earth cache is also worth 750 this month. Then we have the mystery cache worth 600. The letterbox hybrid is worth 550. And a stage of an adventure lab is only 350 points. So, it's Elbrus, that's the name of the peak this time. But if we go back to Cachely, we've got our logs. I'm going to go ahead and submit them. And we can take a look at what happens when we do. So we have two found logs, so we should end up with 600 points if we refresh. 650, sorry, 325. So there's my 650 points. That is how Reach the Peak works. We're not having a whole lot of luck out here today. We did find the two caches, so at least we satisfied Renee's found date, and we've got our base camp. But in order to get the souvenir for the summit, we need 5,642 points, which is a lot more caches than we have right now. So since we're not having very good luck, we're going to try for one more multi-cache, which gets us a whole bunch more points. And we might end up calling this one early, but wish us luck.
So we just tried for another multi-cache and we're not successful in finding the first stage. We think we know where it should be, but there's no trace of it. It's getting to be a little bit frustrating today, and hot and sticky. But we have another one that we're going to try that's a little bit up the road, and keep following us on this adventure. We'll see what we find. So we're about to start a mystery cache, which is at the Dawson Museum, one of the treasures on Belle Isle. and we have to use some information that's on a plaque just behind me about a ship that was here. And again, this is one of the really cool places, definitely one of Darryl's favorites too.
Today is simply not our day for multis, for puzzles. We're just striking out. There is this plaque over here that talks about the pilot house from the William Clay Ford, which is actually part of the museum. You actually go into the museum, the Dawson Museum, you get up in the pilot house, check it out. It is very, very cool. If you're ever on the island and can afford a couple of hours to spend there, definitely check out the Dawson Museum. It's worth the trip. But we're going to actually retire our caching efforts today, because it is also community day for Pokemon Go, and we want to do that and need to grab some food as well. So make sure to click on the channel icon over in the corner. If you like our content, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to get notified when we have new videos hit the feed. Then on the other corner, we're going to drop our geocaching playlist. So if you like the geocaching content, you can find a lot more of it over there.